Good morning. Welcome everybody to Okay We're Up. It's Thursday and I don't have my chat open and I'm slightly early today. How's it going, everybody? Alright, chat's up. I'm good. I can see. Hello and welcome to everybody on YouTube and on Twitch. I'm slightly less out of it today than I was last time, but weirdly still struggling. So I'm here with you guys. The weather is awful. My stomach hurts. It's pretty good Thursday stuff. Today I've got some behind the scenes stuff to show you. But I will get to that. I will get to that momentarily. I see we got GB and the Hero of Time in with us today. That's a privilege to have the Hero of Time himself. And we also got Plaster Duck, at least over on Twitch. And Cyan says, "Thank you for everybody tuning in on Twitch." Winter in New York weather, yep. That is weighing on me. The Sleepy Kyle and Allison show. Hi. I'm glad people are able to watch this like on their way to work and stuff, so that it actually feels like a morning show. I wasn't sure how much this was actually functioning as like a morning podcast for everybody. Cyan says I'm from New Jersey, so I know it well. Yeah, it's like fun for the first month, and then it starts really setting in after a while. Now it's just cold, but without all the Christmas on top of it, so that's frustrating. Mefek's here. Hey. All right, I got tea. I got water. I'm set up. I don't have Allison. Allison is taking a break this week from streaming. If you're tuning in today and are wondering why it's just me, so I'm doing my own stuff because I get to do whatever I want to do, and what I want to do is go over VFX and behind the scenes stuff on the most recent Kyleverse video. So we're gonna be hanging out and chatting this morning while I kind of scrub through and talk about how I did some of the stuff in that video. And then we'll do a different thing tomorrow. I don't know exactly what. I have a short list, but I can't remember what's on it. But I have a few options, including probably getting more Matt weather. Hero of Time says, at the bus stop, realizing I don't have my headphones, so because I'm not a menace to society, it's looking like we're silent movie mode. That sucks. I hate realizing I forgot my headphones when I'm like relying on them. It ruins the entire activity. I have gone out and purchased new headphones before just to fix that problem, actually. Back when I used to work at the news station in my hometown, it was like I had to be set up a specific way, and if I wasn't, it was not okay. It's like I'm fine just like pushing through discomfort and will not be very demanding on anything, but for some reason that was like my line. I had to be able to listen to my YouTube or my podcast or whatever, or I just could not be there. So I literally I had to like I think like take a break, like a sanctioned work break, and leave and go buy like new headphones once just so that I could listen to stuff there. Hi. I also have Cat. Cat might join. Right. I'd say we have enough people to get started. One sec. I'm going to pour my tea first. I don't know if that was close enough for like the ASMR pour, but hopefully that sounded nice. I'm also almost out of all of my teas, which is gonna suck. have to go obtain some new ones. Alright, let's pull this up. So actually, before actually like getting started properly, I'm just gonna kind of play through some of this. No, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna have to like pause as I go. I'm gonna have things to say every single time. All right. I assume everybody here has seen the 10-year finale video at this point. Can't imagine anybody's watching this without having seen it, but just checking. Shut up, Cass. I don't believe you. I also still have the movie list open, so if we need to, I can switch over to that. Hey, Sasquatch is here too. Cool. We got a full house. All right. Energy. Awakeness. We're good. Let's do this. Ostermon says I've been putting a lot of rantings down about what Montreal's rail network should be in the public comments map board for Canada's also high-speed rail. How's your night and morning been? Thankfully not that, so maybe a little bit better than yours, actually. Gray said my headphones malfunctioned, so I thought the stream hadn't started yet. That's why I wait for a second, because I figure there's people who have not come in. We've gone up by 8 since I've been delaying, so it was worth taking a moment for the tea first. Surprisingly, I think it's gaining a little traction. Usually, if you push on stuff, it usually does something, because most people don't push on things. It doesn't take, like, as somebody who has to base her life around comments sections, I can tell you that even random ass comments from people you don't know can just kind of worm their way in there and sit. So yeah, I highly encourage anybody, if you dislike something about your community or government or anything, to let them know, because you'd be surprised what the feedback does. Allison does it all the time. It works great. She leaves reviews on everything, and she writes strongly worded letters to people when they are like in the, not just to random people, but just like to like which she did recently to our neighborhood about the Christmas lights, as you might remember from a previous episode. But yeah, good job, congrats, keep doing it. All right. So, this video, what do I have to say about it? I don't remember, but I'm hoping watching through I will remember. Should we just do a watch through first? I do think I'll pause and just do a watch through first. With audio.
Thankfully, I'm doing that 90s comedy thing where I explain the story, so sit back and get comfortable, cause it's a doozy. It all began back during the 10-year anniversary of Door Monster. I was avoiding responsibilities and repressing bad
Welcome, Phoenix
like
Rising.
When hold on, this tone isn't right. I need something grittier.
Cass said my bed is warm, my room is cold. How do I escape?
I saw growing up, 2025 was the year everything bad happened.
Tell everybody you're gonna do a morning show so that you feel guilty when you don't. All right.
Video game or something. Yeah, that's it. It's from a fictional dystopian.
This is helping. I have things I want to say already.
These days, the city was more crowded with Kyle than an open bar at a frat party.
Hello, what are we doing today? Hi, Polaris. I'm gonna do some behind-the-scenes explanations for this video, because I filmed this entire thing entirely by myself inside my apartment, and I'm pretty proud of a lot of the VFX compositions, actually. I think it's cool how casually I can do them now.
He was disheveled, tired, vaguely familiar.
Because a bunch of these were not like...
Not the guy I was looking for, but I
It still took me time, don't get me wrong, but the ability to just like have this stuff, like doing it all in one space, whilst having some of its own disadvantages because it's tight and it's alone usually. That's the worst part. Is just that it starts feeling isolated after a while. Because it's just me in this one room. But functionally, in a technical sense, it's very useful because my computer with Blender. How does it sound with me talking over the three-layered monologue of me talking? I'll turn that down a little bit. My computer with all my Blender stuff is set up in the same room as where I'm shooting, so I can create the digital set in the computer and light it, and then I can match those same lights next to the computer, so I can be comparing the footage that I'm actually shooting with the thing that I'm planning to put it in, so it always is going to match perfectly as I can, manage to get it. And it just lets me make little decisions like tweaking a light here or there based on like what it's going to look like, illuminating the background in the digital space or something versus just me in front of a green screen. And so that's what I did for this one. It turned out really good. It does end up making me like take longer, I think, because I'm also just sitting there alone, like nitpicking things, versus when we go out on set or somebody else is here, and I've got somebody else's presence reminding me that time needs to progress.
Aha! How'd you do that? Hyper trousers. Huh? Special jumping pants. That exists?
So yeah, I had to shoot every single... So it's really useful for these kind of shots where I have like this scene set up and I have little mannequins in the scene, which I'll show you in a minute, and lights pointing at them, so I can set myself up the same way. And pretty much, obviously, this entire video is green screened. I doubt there was any doubt about that.
I stole the sun plans. He wasn't the ideal partner, but he was all I had. An enigma wrapped in a last-minute Halloween costume from the 80s. Nothing. I was thinking.
I've almost got it. Who's talking? There we go.
Who are you with?
Actually, I don't think I can listen. Who do you think it is?
Jeffrey?
LeBron.
LeBron is Jeffrey.
Who do you think Jeffrey is?
Who do you think Jeffrey is?
There's no time to explain. I'm putting together a team. Where do we go first?
Meet me in 1 hour. We're going to IKEA. Like I said, it's a long story. I'm gonna blow up the sun, and it looks like it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But if I can just believe in myself, I think I can overcome the odds. Will you stop narrating? Can you, for once in your pathetic life, maintain the barest semblance of total consistency? I'm gonna do an anime thing. It's an anime thing now. And stop saying you're gonna do things you're obviously never gonna do. What? You know why I'm stressed out all the time? It's because of you. You used to be the guy who did everything you said you were gonna do. It's the only reason anybody ever liked you. But now, you're all talk, just like everybody else. That's why they're gone.
Hello, wee brownies, by the way. I'm gonna say hi to everybody who joins on Twitch,
Did we get the trace?
because they deserve it.
Work. I thought I had him, but then he flashed forward again.
Is he dead?
Hi, horny
Something
electrician,
continued
6
to-
this,
I don't know
whatever.
what
I
happens
immediately ate my words
after
there.
that, or before. Or during.
How's it going?
It's your own timeline.
I-
don't remember
yeah,
any
I-
of
I can
this,
see
okay?
YouTube
There's
too.
Hundreds of
You guys are the
clones, and
favorite
this is all out
child.
of order.
Hello?
Meet me by the pier at midnight. We'll stare out of the ocean one last time.
You're like the favorite older child, and then I start, and then I'm like, hey, I also see the young... I pay like 2 seconds of attention to the younger child, then you pop up and like, what about me?
No. Well, we're just gonna have to just timestamp ourselves.
Hi, April, I'm here now too, she says.
Hey, how come you say stuff like that, man?
San says is also there. I think I mentioned that, but... Hey, Allison's awake. I'm going over the Kyleverse video, and I was going to show how I did some of the stuff on there while chatting with everybody. I need my... Alright, that was the video. We mostly watched it. I'm bringing the music back. So this one was also... Felt like it took... I mean, it took forever because I took forever trying to make sure that it was how I wanted it, and because like every single shot was a VFX shot. But then also it was multiple videos in one, and this one at the end was tough because it was like the first time that I appeared this way on a video, so we spent like a bunch of time making sure I was delivering all the lines correctly and everything. So that's why this one took so long. Hi Squidward. I see Squidward 732. And April B. Arding, who is also Ostermond. That feels like cheating. That gets you double attention. You secret agent. Alright. I'm not as awake as I thought I was. Anyway, yeah. Pretty much everything in here was an effect shot, though. If I pull up on like an earlier sequence, I can hopefully show what it looked like before. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna hide my color correction, and I can kind of show you the original cut of this. So everything basically had to go in and work on every single shot, which took a long time. And some of them are pretty obvious. They're just like these close-ups of me in front of a green screen. Sort of boring. The script, definitely. It definitely got edited a lot. The entire Kyleverse script has been in flux since I introduced the concept. When I shot into the Kyleverse a while ago, I also shot some ending footage to come back to put into the last video. So that's the only thing that's like nailed down in any way. Everything else has been kind of moving around that. And originally I was not going to introduce me, Girl Kyle, until the end of the entire series. Because I was also going to make the series earlier and faster, and that was going to be kind of the reveal of it. But it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way because it wasn't how I was feeling as I was going. And by the time I wanted to start actually releasing them, I didn't want to keep hiding it anymore. So I decided to work it in and then go from there and just make the Girl Kyle also a character in the series. So there will be several of them moving forward, and I'm gonna have fun figuring out how to like just use VFX tools to make all the different versions of me talking to each other and make it look as like convincing as possible, which is just fun. That's the reason I'm doing all of it. It's because I get to make all these fun tricks, and it's such a basic effect most of the time of having like two of you talking that adding an extra level of challenge to it of like, well, not just two of you talking, but two completely different versions of you from across time and space. I think that'll be really fun. I think it will help that I have literally hundreds of hours of footage of myself because I've never deleted a damn thing. I could be wrong, but didn't you say it was because of K-pop Demon Hunters? What was because of K-pop Demon Hunters? Remind me. I've been rambling, so I don't remember what you're responding to. Shot composition-wise, though, the fun ones are ones like this one's not too bad. The ones where I get to integrate myself into the scene more are honestly way more fun. Honestly, I didn't figure out you were trans until the stream after that video. Yeah, that was, I remember putting that up and being really nervous, and then it was hilarious because nobody realized. And I immediately was like, oh yeah, okay, that's probably because I didn't make it very obvious. Because why would it have been? Your decision to reveal yourself in the video instead of waiting for like... I hadn't seen K-pop Demon Hunters by then. That was much later. I'm assuming you're making a joke, and I'm not... It's not hitting because I'm half awake. So I apologize for ruining your humor. Anyway, this is this kind of shot is more interesting when I get to like layer things in between myself and the camera and stuff. This one's still pretty basic because I'm just like sitting in front of a desk, but this one eventually turned into the shot of me through the diner window, for example. I wish I could like flip these on and off. But what I tried to do for these is actually just like come up with the shot in my head. I usually draw it down and then I shoot just the clip of myself as if I'm actually sitting in that location and I'm trying to like get the shot with the camera, like just physically there. I'm mentally like projecting this whole shot out into the void and then trying to pretend like I'm filming it. And then what I end up with is just this little thing of me, just this little shot right here of me sitting here, knowing I'm going to put like the window and there's going to be lights behind me and stuff. And then like this kind of thing is a similar example where I knew I was going to be on the street and have this street light and stuff. So I had to set up this light on top of a ladder to get the light high enough to look like the street light was pointed at me. It's all very janky and it's all very fun, and I really love doing it even more than I currently do. It's probably my favorite actual thing, like art that I currently work on. The VFX is still like, if you're an artist, you probably know there's like you occasionally just find certain things that like give you energy while you're doing them rather than drain you. And it's weirdly hard to find that because you want to make things all the time, but then sometimes you'll sit down and try to, I don't know, like I picked animation as my first art form. That's what I thought I wanted to do back in high school, and that's why there are animations. And there's a part of me that does like what animation offers, but it would take me forever to get them done. And I've mentioned this before, but I was talking to another animator complaining about having to do the mouths, and then they were talking about how much they loved doing the mouths, and it made me realize how much I didn't like the whole process of animating, because I was talking to somebody who definitely liked animating. And since then, it's taken me a long time to slowly notice which things I actually really like the process of, more than just getting the ending. I wanted videos. I wanted some kind of storytelling. But the actual method didn't click until I found Blender and started doing FX shots and realized that I could just sit and do that for hours. It's just so fun to figure out the process and like nitpick every little detail, and make it look photorealistic. So I'm not sure where I was going with that, other than just I like VFX a lot and I don't get to do it enough because it doesn't like make money, and it takes a long time. That's partially why it doesn't make money. But I wish for all of you that you find your thing like that. There's also a couple of chat questions. I apologize for skipping over them. I'm trying to keep a train of thought going long enough that I don't pause over and over again. Cyan says, joke question for Kyle. Is there anything you'd like to change in your videos looking back? That's a good question. There's nothing that specifically I would change on the whole. I really like that they're a representation of where things were at the time and what I was doing and what I was interested in and who I was. There's like individual things. There's like little videos where right after I uploaded it, I was like, it would have been better if I had done this other thing, and then that just stuck that way forever because it was uploaded and I couldn't do anything about it. And it really depends on the video. Backdoor's here. Hi. We are doing a VFX breakdown, kind of. Just a slow one. Also, King Stubbers is here. Hi, King Stubbers. I'm saying hi to everybody on Twitch. I'm acknowledging all the Twitch people. This shot right here was definitely one of the hardest ones because of I'm not covered by the green screen the whole time, so I had to go and like cut by hand. But the amount of time that would have taken a few years ago doing After Effects compared to the automated tools that DaVinci has now, it's not like, I will say I proudly prioritize getting this out rather than perfecting every little detail of it. So they aren't the best keys that I've ever pulled. There's a few like shitty little white outlines and stuff in some of these shots that I optimistically I would not allow into the final product, but sometimes you just gotta pick having the thing be done rather than making sure it's exactly right. And DaVinci Resolve really helped get it done quickly because it has these like automated body trackers in it now that you can then go in and kind of refine. April asks, does DaVinci do VFX better than After Effects? Yeah, I think so. You have to learn the interface. It's different. It's node-based. But it's built in, which means you can just see it right there. And so like it's literally like it's as if you had Premiere and After Effects in one software and they weren't made by Adobe and they actually functioned. Honestly, A+. I have no notes. I have not used After Effects in probably 2 years with zero regrets. It's great. I did this whole video without After Effects. So take that as you will. This was all done in Blender and DaVinci Resolve. Effects says, I'm proud of you for picking the thing to be done. Thank you. And yeah, most people don't even notice. Like, I'm not even sure most people would notice in here. I also knew I was going to do this rain effect over everything just to hide all of my little imperfections. So that helps. This shot right here also is specifically like the Shadows of Doubt shot. That was my visual reference to like the game art. This is what I was imitating. And so kind of the same way, I wanted to just shoot that shot as well as I could. So I just set my camera to the widest possible lens that I had and got as much distance between me and the camera as I could, so that it would all kind of play together. Because lenses warp things in a specific way, and in my mind, it's just easier to like get as much in camera as you can, even if that's just you in front of a green screen. Make sure that that element looks how it would if you were shooting it on set. April asked, were there any shots you had to do VFX camera tracking and match move on? I don't think I did for this one, only because I couldn't move the camera and be in front of it at the same time. Otherwise, I would have been ambitious enough to do that, I think. Because I like moving shots a lot, especially with 3D CGI. Yeah, so they're not the best to you. I do not see any of it. See, this is why I care. This is why it matters to me so much. This is why there's like an outliner on my legs. It kind of sells as like a backlight, but most of that is actually just like bad tracking. I'm glad people can't see it. Dystopian Kyle City is basically what England is mostly. I like at night now. That's too bad. Did England invent cyberpunk, kind of? I feel like England, like modern punk aesthetic definitely came from England first and got adjusted. Cyberpunk and noir stuff always has rain. Yeah, definitely. It helped that I got to make it kind of like grimy, dark, and lit by single lights, which I kind of do on purpose. There's lots of little tricks that make effects look better that a lot of people don't know. And if you go back and look in old movies, once you do know, you'll just see them everywhere. Like it being dark, there being single point lighting, really, like rather than being kind of diffuse or middle of the day or something, being dark with like singular small lights just leaves a lot more for your brain to fill in. So even older things where they're using like puppets or practical effects, they'll use that in like Terminator or something, because it just looks better. Also, things being wet. There's like, if you like old dark noir movies or cyberpunk stuff, you'll usually see the streets are wet. It's usually raining because it looks better, because it reflects all the lights, and it just looks visually more interesting and kind of blends everything in. Steampunk sort of came from England. Yeah, I feel like the predecessor of cyberpunk stuff started with England, and then like that's like America's take on it. Anyway, VFX concepts for you to go look at whenever you're watching movies again. You'll notice, especially like old 80s movies and stuff, they don't do it as much now, and that's why the effects look worse. Like, I just straight up, that's why Marvel looks like flat and like gray and weird, is because they don't do those tricks, and then they don't have time to put in the extra work to make sure that they're compensating for not doing those tricks. So it ends up looking flat instead. I'm still using all those tricks because I have no money. This one was fun because this is just me standing in front of a green screen. There's no point even showing you the shot. Like, I'm literally just standing there with a light over my head. But then I can stick it into this thing and then move the shot around me, which is pretty fun. That was fake. Like also on this one I have all these little, like, I went back and just dug out all my old photo scans of me. And so those are the ones that are just kind of like sitting around or like silhouetted in the front. I think the silhouettes aren't even me. They're just photo scans that I downloaded of random people, but you can't see. And then this is entirely CGI. It's just this is just like a fake shot of a fake building. And this is probably the most integrated. And I want to do more like this in front of more interesting locations. Because this was just a wall and a door, but it is real. I'll show you the Blender one for that because it's kind of fun. So yeah, right. This is that shot originally, and then it eventually turns into this because I cut everything out except for the wall and the door that I'm standing in front of, and because my apartment is shaped this way. That's why I just built around it. I added another kind of like jutting out wall right here. And that's all fake. Everything back here is fake. The floor is fake. The ceiling is fake. It's just me, this wall, and the door, and like the mat, because I pick it up and move it. And then I added in a similar light so that it's casting the same light on everything else. And it all kind of blends together and looks like it's one scene, which is pretty cool. I should have at least opened the correct folder so that I was able to access this quickly, but I didn't. I have like constant, I don't know if anybody else has this, but if something feels like I haven't finished it in my head, it gets like pinned with a little sticky note that I need to fix it. And it never goes away. Like, ever. So, for an example, my files are not organized as well as I'd like them to. And it's just constant noise in the back of my head that I need to, like, get to that eventually. Never going to. So I should be able to just, like, release myself from thinking I need to do that. But for some reason, I can't. It's a task. It's on the list. It's just at the bottom of the list, weighing it down. Because in my mind, one day, I'm going to organize all the sound effects that I collected 15 years ago. But it's not going to happen. Ever. Anniversary specials episode. I've done a little bit better organizing my Blender files, at least. Apartment halls looks right. Yeah, here's the shot. Hopefully this doesn't crash anything. Okay, it's also not showing me the footage. Oh, this is also an older version. One sec. Is that it? Oh, there's that one. There's that one. It must be this one. If you ever figure that out, let me know. I got several tasks like that. Yeah, it sucks. Sorry you have that too. Okay, this is the right file. Am I still am I still live? It's not crashing or anything. Now the issue is that I don't know how to switch over to that camera. Maybe if I can find it here. All right, so this is also kind of fun because I had multiple shots within each. Apologize for the sirens. I had multiple shots within a couple locations, so I actually just had to model the whole location sometimes. So this is the apartment building because the elevator goes all the way up through it, so I needed to see every floor, and I just used some of those floors to actually do the shots in. So I don't even see the other camera. I was hoping to just pull this up and be able to like show it off. Maybe this one? Yeah? Perhaps? If I switch here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And I can check off the like elevator and then hopefully render this one and we'll be able to see what it looks like. Damn it, we can't get rid of it. Thought it was crash. Wow. Didn't realize you hated me. Also, like, vacuum my bike shed, which is such an irrelevant task, but every time I see the dust in the bike shed, I'm reminded. Yeah. Yep. Okay, good. That makes me feel a little bit better. Because that sounds exactly like me. I'm not sure this is going to focus more than it is. This is the mistake. Trying to do rendered mode is the mistake. I'm going to try to turn that off. Okay, so it's kind of hard to show, unfortunately, at the moment. But the way this is set up is like, this is the camera, and this little card right here has the footage of me on it. Ah, I wish I could actually show it off. It's bothering me that I can't. And so that's just placed in scene. You can kind of tell. There it is. The background color is weird. I'm guessing because the footage is disconnected, which happens sometimes. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Alright. I just don't want it to crash the stream, so I don't want to wait. But this is literally how I set it up. Is I just built out this whole thing, and then this wall has like a texture of the apartment wall on it, and then I have a separate thing of me like cut out frame by frame here, floating in space about where I would be. So it's like that moving cardboard cutout thing. It's really cool. I like doing it. I get to like do set decoration and film and like composition and all these things that I don't really get a chance to do in real life in Blender. And I probably would like it even more if I got to do all those things in real life too. If I got to work with like actual practical effects and be on a physical set and move things around, I think that would be really fun. But in lieu of that, I can do all of that in here and also integrate CGI stuff, which has been awesome. Cass said I have the pins, but also chronic ADHD, so I either forget what it is specifically, but but remember it's something urgent, or I'll remember at really inopportune hours. I have some of that too, for sure. That's why I have to write everything down, or I will forget all of it. So it's either just stuck in there forever, or it's really important and I've completely forgotten, and it's just going to sneak up on me one day. So I'm also just constantly aware that my own inattentiveness will catch up to me at any moment. So that's fun. Practical effects like the stuff Stephen He does right now. I'm not sure what you mean, but basically just like building like real things rather than digital things, like having an actual set or you know, a monster in a costume rather than like a digital one, or doing like an actual explosion, actual lighting tricks, actual fog, like just lots of or just starting at that base level and then also magic trick stuff, right? Which might be more like what you're talking about, which is setting up visual illusions to sell something else. I'm really into puppets. I like old, like Jim Henson stuff, old Star Wars stuff, and just learning about all the miniatures. I miss miniatures. I think that'd be really fun. The emotional damage guy. Okay, yeah, he does comedy skits with fight scenes. I didn't know that. Breaking tables, walls, yes, that'd be great. I've always wanted to get some of those breakaway, like, plates and stuff that you can throw at each other. That sounds super fun. Can't wait for Kyle to use their knowledge to make a VOD to educate grandparents on how to spot AI. That would be kind of interesting. Allison's really good at noticing AI. I'm getting better at it because it's changing from, it's annoyingly, it's getting so good. The things you have to look for are actually just like intuitive behavioral things. Like, why would that guy do that thing he just did? Like, you can tell it's AI because that substance didn't react right, or that person, it doesn't make sense why that person is doing the thing they're doing the way they're doing it. I'm honestly less trained in finding AI, though. It's a little bit different. And I've ignored it a little bit too much. Actually know how to make prop destructible glass? That's really interesting, and I need to talk to you about that. I didn't know you could do that. Puppets, like, for example, a door monster. Yeah. Right, yeah. Also, the hobo has one. I built that guy. The one that the hobo uses. That was one that I just made by hand back in high school because I decided I wanted to. If an AI does the uncanny smile, I think I could spot it. I've seen that one. That one's pretty weird. I know what you're talking about. Let's see, what else? Anything else interesting in here? And then there's some basic things like this, which is just trying to add an extra layer of... I got this close-up of me in the doorway, that's my bathroom, that I use as the apartment door. And you can see behind me there's a black sheet covering the shower curtain, so it doesn't look like a shower curtain. And then I just went and, after I got on my lines, I went and stood in the right spot so that I could, and then just every shot went and like cut out and integrated my shoulder into shot, just to add that extra little layer. Understanding animal behavior makes AI animal videos feel extra disturbing. The Skinwalker alarm bells go off. That makes sense. I bet, yeah. I think experts in different subjects will be able to help identify AI videos for a while still. Backdoor, I don't think you all remember Brainjacker, but it's insane that you do. Some otherwise convincing AI stuff just feels wrong. I think I'm fairly good at spotting it. That's good. We should do, that's a good, okay, we're up idea. I'm going to write that down. Doing a spot realer AI thing. We're going to do that as a segment when Allison comes back. Let's see. Okay, so we have us talking a bit. This is another one where, like, from far away. This was kind of interesting, actually. Can I zoom in on this? So obviously, I same kind of thing, right? Like, I generated the whole building. Whoa, things are lagging. Is there like raw green screen footage here or something? Allison, yes, Allison died. She's no longer with us. Hopefully she's resting in peace. We might even hear her ghosts at some point. If she feels like haunting the stream chat. Wow, I've done fucked something up. It's there we go. Okay. That did not make it better. I can't tell if the computer's lagging or if this mouse is just not working. Okay, it might have just been the mouse, actually. Okay, I cannot zoom in. I was going to try to show you these two me's over here, but the way I did this was actually shoot myself in the door, so the door is real, because I'm standing in front of it, and then I got this extra plate of me in front of the green screen as well, and was able to layer those up. But, weirdly, because of the way the kitchen counter is arranged and stuff, I couldn't get my full body for the door shot. So my legs down here are also not real. This bottom half of the door and my legs are CGI, and I used the railing to like separate and kind of block it off. So that was just a fun extra random challenge that I had to do. And then I think this guy up front is just like a photo scan of me that I put this dumb hat on and then stuck an animation onto. That's not actual footage. Cass said, for some reason I thought this stream would be about the decade VOD and talking about your time doing DM for 10 years. Oh yeah, no, that would, I don't know how to comment on that. That whole thing is commentary. The production of that video was not super interesting. The production of the 10 years was interesting though. Sometimes I still hear Allison's voice. Allison would definitely become a ghost. Oh yeah, absolutely. Allison has, I don't remember her exact quote, but she has said something to me along the lines of, don't worry, if I die, I won't die as much as other people would, or something like that. She's not coming back, Kyle. It's been 2 years. Don't do that. That'll actually fuck with me. My sense of time is too fragile. Man, honestly, one of my biggest fears of like if Allison died is in fact that would happen. It's just like a decade would pass by and I wouldn't notice. I could very easily see myself just going into a coma. These were tough without having any CGI actually, because it's just layered shots of me in the same physical space. So I had to like, this is why DaVinci Resolve, to recommend again, has a lot of automated like person selectors, and then it will like just go through frame by frame, and that kind of thing I have no problem with, because it's tedious, annoying bullshit work that I don't want to do. So anything that the computer can do to get rid of that step for me is great. So I'm able to just like cut myself out here at a second layer where it's just me, and then I can slip anything I need to behind me. And so I was able to just kind of fudge all of this. I'm trying to put it in the middle and it's not working, but that's how I got myself behind myself in these shots, is that I just set the camera up and did multiple takes, and then was able to go just like separate different pieces into layers and just kind of like mix and match depending on like the timing. I do wish on this video, another thing I would have done had I the time, and that I was fully planning on doing, I would love to have made this a ragdoll simulation, like when Matt kicks me through the window. That was the intention. It was to do a full comical, like the door hits me and I just like flop backward and slam into the wall and stuff. And I ran out of time. It just wasn't important enough to do it, which is a shame. It worked okay. It was just a kind of a more standard like After Effects style hit instead. Wee Brownie said I had people try to convince me I was in a coma and had to wake up in high school. Very fun, would not recommend. I kind of remember that being like, I remember that prank going around. Like people like would like text you the little image that was like, we've been trying to contact you. This is the only way we found in. You're asleep right now. You have to wake up, kind of thing. Cass said there's a fundamental difference between AI that adds more convenience to tools and AI that attempts to remove all effort and thought. Yeah, AI, and I haven't really like talked about this much because there's just no reason to, but AI assisted stuff in VFX, fucking awesome. I've loved the tools that have slowly become available for making this easier. Because it really does just like cut out the stuff that, it doesn't reduce the creative input at all. I just removes the stuff I don't want to do because nobody wants to do it. Ran out of time. You were late on this VOD. Yeah, and I ran out of time. I was doing other things during that year. They got the principal of the high school in on it. Holy shit, you were pranked hard. That's great. I have no good excuse for that, but I ran out of time. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how it worked. See if there's anything else like specifically interesting. This is just the same shot from a past video. This is Ian's wall from San Antonio. I just stabilized it and recolored it and worked it in, and it worked. So that's nice. I didn't have to generate this. Even things like this, though, where I open the safe. Blender's really great for doing this kind of stuff, because the safe is not real or complicated. I knelt down where I wanted the safe to be, and I just did this in front of the camera, and then I went in and made a box in Blender, put the digital camera in it, and then did a really, really basic ass animation to like make the door swing open, which is just another cube, and I think threw a pre-made texture on there just so it catches the light right, but since it's mostly black, it didn't matter. And I think it sells surprisingly well that it's like actually inside something. Another weird, this whole shot entirely CGI. This is not real paper. So I actually never even printed out these sun plans, this IKEA thing. That's just digital. I added some randomized movement so it looked like my hand was holding it, and I tried to give it like a paper texture. But if you just stare at it, you can tell really easily that this is like a video game asset. There's nothing real about this at all. And then the window and the city were going to be CGI. It mostly because it didn't make sense to like try to green screen paper into the shot. I thought it was going to look worse if I tried to do that. So I just made the whole thing. It didn't take long, and I think it sells pretty well in the actual edit. Polaris says, I don't care. I don't know if it was a prank or just really elaborate bullying, but my elementary school class straight up ignored my existence for what felt like 5 months. As in would not acknowledge my presence at all. I think that's actually just bullying. I don't think that's a prank. I think that's like being shunned. What that genuinely makes me very sad. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's insane. Of course, Kylo Corp would keep those plans digital. Physical would be harder to steal. Like how everyone in the chat is also being like, wow, that's really fucked up. Yeah, that's that sucks. Let's see. Okay, yeah, and then this is back out on the street. This another thing where I thought I like in my head it was gonna be a cooler looking animated version of me jumping out of this window with like the coat flapping because I was gonna do a cloth animation. I have all these great grand ideas, and then it's like, well, this is just me working on this, and I have a week left because I'm already 6 weeks over when I was gonna release it. So instead, this is literally a photo scan of me sitting in a chair. Nothing about this looks okay. This was the last shot that I rendered. I was so done at this point that I just hashed this together. And then cut to this one where I have the 3 me's again. This one was only hard because I was having to act it out and time it in my head and then stick them all in the same scene. So every single one of these characters I had to like stand in front of the green screen, deliver the line, react to something that wasn't happening, and just go through the whole scene while pausing for the other Kyles to talk. And I did it a few times at different speeds to try and get it as close as I could. And then afterwards, like, tweaked the pauses usually. So there's a few times where, like, I've stretched out or shortened different spaces in between and tried to use little editing tricks to hide where I made the cuts so that you can't really tell. But, like, a couple of times, like, when I'm just, like, staring, I might actually just be frozen for a second so that the timing worked. And then the rest might just be me in front of green screen. I do think this orb was just something I downloaded on YouTube, which I've done before. Like, I think I just looked up, like, magic orb effects and just downloaded it and, like, did a bunch of, like, lighting passes on it so that it blended into the scene okay. But I just kind of needed the energy movement, so I just found that pre-made so that I didn't have to worry about it. Definitely, you can. There are certain ones that I did first, and then there are the ones where I started cutting corners. Things I should probably talk about in therapy, apparently. Yeah, that's one of those things to bring up. This is one of my favorite things people do. Like, not like, it's not funny that you were traumatized, but there's occasionally people in my life have, like, told stories very casually, and it's like I swear it's like a TV, like a movie trope or something, where people will just, like, casually drop this, like, devastating story from when they were younger, because they're not thinking about the fact that it's, oh god, sorry. I swear I get that right like half the time, but never when I need to use it, never when I actually need to switch back. Anyway, yeah, like, my mom will do kind of similar things where she'll just be like, my whole life she's been like, she has had nightmares, and she would explain them to us, and they would just be like horrifying things, like weird body horror shit. And that one took a while because I was young when she was telling me, and when you're younger, you're just like, oh yeah, that's whatever your parents say, you just take it face value. But eventually I became an adult, and she brought one up again, and I was like, hey, that's actually not normal. People don't have dreams like that. People don't just, like, go to sleep every single night and have dreams like that every single night. You should probably go see somebody. I've had other friends also just, like, say weird, shocking things from their childhood where we had to be like, that wasn't a normal thing. That wasn't, I know you're saying that like it's relatable, but it's not. Do you have therapy, or sort of need to start sending you creepy baby equivalents now? What does that mean? Do you have a Backdoor S, do you have a favorite VFX you've ever made? I think my favorite of yours was recording those aliens on a green screen in Gmod. Those will always hold a special place in my heart for sure. Like, it's the problem solving aspect of it that I think really does it for me. And so even though because the tools were stupid, because I didn't have access to any of the tools at the time. The Perito bat, yes, no, genuinely, we just watched the Puss in Boots movie, and in that scene where he, like, tells his backstory and they're just staring at him, we were cracking up because it reminded us specifically of one of our friends, and when that happened, yes, exactly like that. That has happened multiple times. It's not an okay, we're upstream without the logo showing up for some reason. Yeah. If it weren't a mess, it wouldn't be this show. I was answering Backdoor's question. The Gmod effects are definitely up there for me because of, like, how dumb it was and how well it worked. Aside from those, some of my favorite effects have to be, I really love the Phyrexian Obliterator shot in the Self-Fulfilling Idiocy video. That one shot was so fun that it made me want to do an entire Magic the Gathering series that has still not left my head, because I think it'd be so fun to use effects to do what looks like an old 80s style dark fantasy show set in Magic the Gathering universe. Or even just a couple more sketches or something. I just think it'd be really fun. Because I did so many little things with that one. And something about doing those, like, old, like, making it, like, small and square and kind of like old VHS looking, it, like, hides enough of it that I don't have to worry too much about, like, making sure every little thing is perfect. I just get to imply. It feels more like painting. And I'm imitating real life effects, like the Phyrexian Obliterator in that shot. I didn't try to make look like an actual creature. I tried to make it look like a puppet of a creature that they might have built out of shit in the 80s. and then moved it around even like that. I think I even like, I don't remember how I used a glove. I usually literally use a motion capture glove. So the way that thing is moving is that I have a motion capture glove in my hand, and I'm like, have it like up, and I'm like doing the mouth as if I have a puppet. I think I even used the hobo puppet to like add some weight to my hand and stuff so that it moved realistically. And that's why it moves the way that it does, and I think it sells really well because of that. It was that one was fun. And then even little things like, I don't know, I'm standing in all the bones and stuff, so when I move around, I like actually added physics simulation so that like the bones kick around with my feet and stuff. It was cool. It just turned out really good. I can rewatch that shot on loop over and over again and just like appreciate it, just like sit and stare at it, which is always great. This is the very ending shot of the video I shot with the big robot guy, Self-Fulfilling Idiocy 3-2, where the robot suit guy also is like an effect that I did for the whole thing. But when it's those individual shots like that, I just get to like dig in and make all those little details work. At the very end when I teleport and then the monster is like roaring at me. I love that shot. That one shot is just so fun. That one, and then I also was really impressed with, I had fun doing the close-up shot of the pool table and just nobody noticing that was even a thing. Oh no, the Allison trick shot with all the pool balls rolling in. Being able to use CGI to do things that would be hard in real life but blend into the real shot so well that you can't tell. I think that stuff is great. Anyway, I'd love to do more Magic the Gathering stuff because just figuring out how to do... I was planning out so much that I have models built. I have shots made that might make it into future videos. I almost want to show some of them off now. Did I like export any of those? I'm going to check real quick before I go for the day because I'm getting up to... It's about time to stop. Where would those be? I think I have a whole Magic the Gathering series section in personal projects here. Sorry for the horrendous mic noise if that's happening. It's coming through my speakers. I can't tell if the signal is happening in the microphone. I feel like there's a skit idea where someone gets the power to CGI in real life. I've had versions of that idea a couple of times over the course of the channel and it never quite turned into anything. The ultimate goal is to make VFX so good it summons Captain Dissolution. That would be great. This mouse is trash. Okay, I might not be able to show you anything because the mouse is jumping so bad that I can't can't hover over it. Shit, I forgot I was even like rendering out test shots of things. Interesting. Here's one. I can show you guys this. Huh? Hi. It's going good. I'm ending soon. Allison's up. I think you're getting feedback from the mic. Okay. I think it's gone at the moment. Here, I'm switching my PC back over again. Little before, behind the scenes, never before seen little clips. I had this one that I shot a while ago, which is going to be immediately post that shot in the one video where you can see this hole in me that the fire Phyrexian obliterator left, and this is going to be replaced with a CGI character. The hole tracking worked really damn well though, and I was thinking about incorporating this shot back into something at some point. Yeah, I know. Also, the mouse is like fucking up, so I'm having trouble clicking on anything. So this is going slower than I wanted it to. And then, I don't know if I even rendered out a bunch of these, but that's just like a fake close-up. Anyway, there's not as many... What? Did you hear my idea for later, though? To do like a Is It Real or AI segment on the actual show? I think you're really good at it. Yeah, okay. I think it'd be fun. Anyway, I think trying to sort through these might be a little bit too hard to properly find them, unfortunately. And a bunch of the video clips are not actually video clips; they're just image sequences. But remind me, I'll show you. I'll show you some later. You can probably pull some of those up.
That buzz is crazy.
Boy, boy, that mic feedback. Yeah, it sounds really bad. Probably time to go. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Sounds like a bunch of mosquitoes over here.
Yeah, I don't even know what. It's so random.
Yeah.
It's nothing is different than it was 2 days ago. Gasp, Allison Ghost. Yeah, she was in chat. You didn't see her? Alright. I will be back tomorrow morning with a different activity. Thank you all for tuning in. It was good seeing you. I hope you have a good day. And I will see you later. Goodbye.